therapized, best communicators among us, rarely. Dating women didn't just help me to understand women, it also helped me to understand men. Being a bisexual woman has given me a lot of insight into modern dating and relationships, and in this video, I'm going to share some of my experiences. So let's get started. The first thing that I realized is that women communicate indirectly, and it is genuinely hard to navigate.
1 second. For the emotionally intelligent sex, I'm confused of how indirect communication is not communication. If I do shit indirectly to try communicate to you, that's not communication. Talk.
What I learned is that women, even the most therapized, best communicators among us, rarely say what it is that they actually need.
And that's not communicating.
Indirectly, and they rely on that level of indirect communication. It's something that we do with other women, and so it's kind of the way that we operate, and then we expect the people that we are dating to understand our hints, our tone, our nonverbal communication, our energy shifts, and our subtle cues. So when I was with women, I often felt the same kind of confusion that many of my male clients report, like I'm doing what she asked for, but somehow it's still wrong. I don't understand why it's wrong. And I'll give you an example. Not someone that I was dating, but a female friend of mine actually ended a friendship with me because even though I was doing the things that she requested, she said that it wasn't actually what she wanted. And she didn't want to be in a friend, platonic relationship with someone who couldn't understand how to be there for her.
Okay, once again, I'm not going to realize how retarded that is. The problem is, right, we've normalized just accepting women's stupid behavior. Me personally, I'm on this timing, right? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because before I used to accept it, because you know what I'm saying, I'm talking to them, I used to accept the behavior. I don't care anymore. I'm going to be real. And you know what I'm saying? I've already got my shit in the back. From now on, any females I talk to from now, I'm on straight honesty. If they don't like it, game is game.
Way that she needed, even though I was doing what she said she needed. It was really painful. Anyway, the moral of the story is that men are not clueless. The instructions are confusing.
No. The instructions are non-existent. Okay? That's what does that.
All right, second thing that I realized is that the masculine frame is not at all theoretical. It's real and it feels like pressure. So women often say that they want their partner to hold the masculine frame, right? To be the wall that the wave crashes against.
Okay.
That contains the storm. And being with a woman showed me what it feels like to feel like you have to stay grounded. You have to.
Yeah, nah, bro, it's headache.
You have to know what to do. You have to be the calm. My inner experience as someone who mostly identifies as very feminine is that it was kind of scary because what if I don't know what to do? What if I can't hold it all together while she's falling apart? What if I want to fall apart? What if I don't want to be the
Nah. You got the LM cut. Okay? You're the man.
It helped me to realize that men are not weak. They've just been given an impossible job that doesn't come with any sort of instruction.
No. Okay, let's just land real quick. It's not an impossible task. It's not even weak men. It's women don't like honesty. They say it, but they don't actually want honesty. The man is not weak. You're just crazy.
And they're supposed to act all the time like they know exactly what they're doing. Brings me to realization number 3. Women expect their partners to know what's going on and take care of them, and those expectations can be tremendous.
That's not deep.
Taught me the intensity of that sort of double expectation. Know what I need intuitively and
okay, see, that's where you lost me. Intuitively. If you don't tell me what you need, I can't do it. I'm gonna be real. I'm sorry, I don't play mind games. I ain't got time for this.
To emotionally regulate even when I don't know what I need. We often think about women as the caretakers in relationships, and that's fair. For the most part, women are conditioned to caretake, but we don't give men the credit that they deserve for the caretaking that they do. And I'm saying this also as a partner, as a female partner. I can realize now that I've put my male partners in this situation where I want them to know what's going up with me and take care of me all at the same time.
How the fuck did you do that?
Men feel like they can never get it right because they're supposed to know everything and hold everything simultaneously. Which brings me to the fourth realization that I had. Female arousal is complex. The first time that I was face to face with a vulva, even though I very much wanted to be there and had been trying to figure out how to.
You just gotta figure it out, bro. I'm not gonna lie, the pressure does get there though.
With a woman for a long time, I felt a tremendous amount of pressure. And this is I have this body. I know all the parts.
It's actually funny that, you know what I'm saying? She tweaked as well.
Yeah, I was a professional. I was a professional educator at that point. I understood everything I needed to understand in order to succeed, and I was still a little panicked because women's arousal is contextual. Women's bodies are sensitive. They do change day to day and week to week. There's a lot going on, and they often need a tremendous amount of presence
Facts.
and slowness and nuance.
Build
And
up.
it can feel like staring at a vulva is more like trying to crack a safe than it is to like figure out how to put together this like sexy puzzle. What I understood about men then is that they're not rushing or being clumsy in bed because they're insensitive. They're anxious and they're just trying not to fail. And that is a pretty intense frame to hold. Which brings me to number 5. Feminine chaos is real, and it is not easy to hold. I once had a moment where I was helping this woman to prepare for a trip. And I walked into her apartment and I saw that her suitcase was in the middle of the floor, totally empty. And then everything was just completely
I promise you, I would have bugged out.
There was stuff everywhere.
My whole thing is, bro, I literally plan my day the day before, right? I plan what I'm gonna do the next day. And whenever anything goes against my plan, I get pissed. I can't handle that.
And I just remember thinking, oh my God.
Like, you know, like
this is
if I
feminine
got shit
chaos.
planned,
I've been that
and then my mom calls me, yo, I need you to come to the house today.
overwhelmed and dysregulated and impossible to support and just completely lost inside of the chaos of it all, thrashing around and just like making it worse as I'm going, and expected a male partner to sort of like help me contain myself and be the person to hold me while I got it all together. And when men don't want to do that, when they turn away, when they don't feel confident that they're capable of doing that, that's not them being cold. That is them being overrun by a swirl of emotion and intensity as it's coming up at them. We just have sort of different ways of being with that overwhelm. Realization number 6, women have an enormous capacity for grace, but it's often conditioned and not fully authentic. What I mean by this is that women often are quick to forgive and soften and make space, make peace, and move on.
But they don't move on. They don't actually move. They don't let it go.
Conditioning, and it's not their truth. We don't want to blame women for this because this is how they are raised and the expectation.
Okay, this is where you lose me. I'm not gonna lie. When you're of a certain age, you are responsible for your actions. I'm sorry to break it to you, men or women. If you're out of age, I'm holding you responsible for your actions
that are made of them, but then they end up being resentful because they're not actually feeling that way. They don't actually want to forgive and move on, or they don't actually feel great about whatever just happened, but they've been taught that they need to just like make peace and then let that fester inside of them. And that leads to women not being clear. That leads to us not being honest about our limits. That leads to us sometimes forgiving before we're actually ready to, in order to keep the peace. And so, of course, men are going to be confused because they might feel like the rules are changing moment to moment.
Yeah.
We already made up about this, but you're still angry about it. It is a beautiful...
It's a headache, I'm not gonna lie.
Women have space in their hearts to forgive and like move on quickly, but only when it is true. Which brings me to realization number 7. Dating women made me feel protective of men. I saw how impossible
it's a headache sometimes
for men can be, and how much they get blamed for that stuff when they don't get it right. Dating women made me want to help boys become men. Many of the myths and things that we believe culturally about men, both men and women, are untrue. Like, men aren't emotionally unavailable. Sometimes they're just overwhelmed. Men aren't necessarily bad communicators. They're just working with mixed signals. They're not necessarily weak. They're carrying so much silently. And this is why I have created...
This is the problem with this day and age, right? This day and age, women have been convinced, and they're trying to convince the men as well. And show emotion and everything like women. We're not women. I'm sorry. I refuse.
We did an entire half-day summit just to support men in learning these systems so that they can show up clearly and confidently in the way that they want to. Men don't have a sex problem. They have a system problem, a relational problem, a pressure problem. And that is why I built...
No. Okay, whoa. This way, I understand everything she said, and I feel like this is W. Women are the problem when it comes to shit. Like some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. But bro, we need to, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand why do we, okay, I think it's because we're just more logical. Yeah. It's like, let's keep it consistent.
completely free summit so that men can come and learn about the best ways, tips, techniques, and tactics for dealing with the romantic and sexual and erotic
You know what it is? Men need to like take back over the social society. Because right now women have the social society in a full Nelson shade like this. You piss off the women on one side, your job's gone, they're pulling up to your workplace, it's over. You get what I'm saying? Like, men need to take back over.
Relationships that they hold dear. Whether you're in a long-term relationship or single and looking to start a relationship, you need the tools and the tactics that you were just not given.
Well, I think this video is done though. I'm gonna leave it at that though. Man, I'm not gonna comment down below what you want me to react to next. And fuck you. Or what?